Hello everybody and welcome to another Getting Stuff Painted, my bi-weekly give or take update on the miniatures that have been getting painted for the various games we play on the channel. And it's going to be a bit different this time. It might be a bit on the shorter side as well, because there's technically 2 and almost 3 games to cover today, but the bulk of it is all from Blackstone Fortress. I've been thoroughly enjoying Blackstone Fortress, and in order to play the strongholds, which you'll have seen the video on already, you need a lot of the miniatures painted up. So I actually finished painting all the villain side of the base box, so you can actually see the base box just out of line of sight there. I had to move it to make room for the stronghold that was completed. But we've got some of that to cover. We've got some bot war, and then at the end we have our first experimental paint job for Blood Bowl ahead of the pre-orders. Or actually, by the time you see this, I think the pre-orders might be up. But either way, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is the very first Getting Stuff Painted, and I've been doing these for a year now, I think, every 2 weeks, that has not featured a Batman miniature of any type, be it from the Batman miniature game or Gotham City Chronicles, etc. I think this is a first. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's a first. So anyway, let's start with the big bad of Blackstone Fortress, Ordeus Malix, I think is his name. I tried to do something fancy here with the lighting because, in general, I've not painted Black Legion before, and it's with contrast. I don't know, I'm not sure how to highlight the black to look better, so I thought, he's using a Thunderhammer, he's got a plasma pistol, what if they were crackling with energy? It's okay, I guess. Anytime I attempt something like this, I always end up hating the result. It never looks as good as it does in my head, the crackling lighting effect. Hats off to people who can do this and make it look good, because it is so difficult to do. But in terms of contrast work, we have Blood Angel's red contrast, Black Templar contrast obviously for the majority of his armour, Nazdrag yellow for the gold parts, Blood Angel's red is the cape, and that's about it honestly. The highlighting was done with Calgar blue, I think that's the lightish blue. That's not a contrast paint, it's just normal paint. With a little bit of Talisar blue on top to try and dull it down a little bit, blend it a little bit as well, and some Lead Belcher silver, and copious amounts of washes. So he's the big bad, we haven't run into him yet. And he has 2 lackeys, he has 2 Chaos Space Marines, who were in the Stronghold video, but I didn't do any close-ups of them or anything. Exact same colours used, Black Templar, Blood Angel's red, Lead Belcher silver, Guilliman flesh for the bear skull. These are chaosified, if we can use that as a word, existing sculpts. Like, I recognise these as Primaris sculpts that have just been, like, put spikes on, and the iconography of the Black Legion. But yeah, and the other backpack. But I recognise these poses from being Loyalist Marines. And here's the other one. He's got a spiky helmet. Exact same colours used. For the first Black Legion I've ever painted, not bad, I guess. And again, contrast is doing all the work here. Could definitely be better. I'm not too keen on the Nazdrag yellow being the gold against this. I think it works better on an Ultramarine, but contrasting with the Black Templar contrast, I don't know, it's thrown me off a little bit. But there's only 3 Marines in the box, that's them done. Not my favourite paint job, but hey. Speaking of them, we have 4 Chaos Beastmen, who I found very boring to paint. Now that's partially on me, I think it's partially on the sculpts just mostly being like chains and stuff. I didn't use Guilliman flesh, I used, what's the other one called? Dracoth flesh, the slightly darker flesh tone contrast. And then Skeletal Horde for any bones and bandages, Lead Belcher on the guns, Basilicanum Grey for the shorts. I guess they were supposed to be trousers, but when he mutated they turned into Hulk-esque shorts. And Black Templar for the armour as well, and Wildwood Brown for his hair. And that colour scheme, other than some of them having Blood Angel's red for some tassels, is the exact same colours I used for all of them. And I don't know, I'm not sure what put me off about these Beastmen. It's just I enjoyed painting the Traitor Guardsmen more, which is weird, because I was having such a bother just mustering the energy to do them. Like, we're going to look at 7 of them in a second here. That's the other 7, and they're all the same sculpt of the original 7 that I've already been showing off over the last couple of these, for 14 in total. And you only get the 4 Beastmen. I don't know, maybe Beastmen are just too Warhammer Fantasy for me. Maybe that's it. Maybe they don't feel like they belong in 40k. And Blackstone Fortress is in the 40k universe and timeline. So I don't know. Maybe that's what put me off. But same colours used for all of them. That's the nice thing, I guess, that they all kind of look the same because they're from the same kind of allegiance. So we have our 2 rogue Psychers, one of which broke on camera in the Stronghold Blackstone Fortress mission, if you saw that. Not this one. This one is... oh no, sorry, this is totally the one that broke. He's now purely hanging on by the cube at the back of him there. That's the only thing keeping him standing, because this chain was broken... sorry, hang on. This chain was broken when I got him, and this chain here, you can see it's totally unaligned now. That just snapped on video, I guess from picking him up and putting him down too many times. The models themselves I love. I did some Calgar blue on the brain to make it look like he's pulsing with psychic energy. Other than that, all the exact same colours. You can sort of production line them as a result of having the same colours across the board. This is the one that has all the chains where they're supposed to. He's like holding his brain to do a psionic attack. He's cool. I like that they're floating around but they're weighed down by the chains of the Imperium. Is that a metaphor? Also, what is that? That white thing shouldn't be there. There we go. It's a little speck of paint, I think. He's neat. I like them. They're a pain to fight. But hey. So then we have our 7 Guardsmen. I don't have much to say about these that I didn't already say when painting the first 7. I basically copied them exactly to the point where, because I had to use some of these in the Stronghold video, I'm not 100% certain these are the new ones I painted. Some of these could be the old ones that I painted for the first set of 7. I genuinely don't know for sure because I just did them the exact same way. Hopefully, I'm not re-showing a miniature, but I can't make that promise. Because there's 2 of every sculpt. So you get 2 sergeants, 2 flame guys, 2 lasgun guys, 2 sets of 2 close combat guys, 2 flame guys, and that's basically it. This is the other lasgun guy. Different poses in them, but that's because those are the biggest squads you can run into in Blackstone Fortress. Oh, and the grenade guy is what I was forgetting, of course. The man who has all the grenades. He stole all of them, so his squad can't have them. But the biggest squads you can run into are like 7 Guardsmen, but you could run into 2 sets, hence needing 14. And that's the flame guy. Oh, only difference is I used the lighter brown contrast for the shovel handle. The leather one, I've forgotten the name offhand. It's the only other brown I ever end up using. Wildwood and the snakebite leather, that's the one. So this is a little hint of what will be coming next for Blackstone Fortress, because these little adorable so-and-sos are boreworm infestations, and they get spawned from something rather large, rather nasty, and indifferent as to what it attacks. That'll be coming soon. So that is Ultramarines blue on top with a wash over the top, and Aethermatic blue for the skin beneath. And then we have the other one as well, done in the exact same fashion. And again, hopefully in the next update video, you'll be seeing the thing that spawned those. I'm looking forward to painting it because it's my favourite Blackstone Fortress miniature, I think. So that's it for Blackstone Fortress. Then we have 4 miniatures from Bot War, 2 of which you've already seen if you saw the battle report, the test battle report we did. Moray and Stingray. So here's just some up close shots. Eand in yellow, warp lightning, and a wash over the top with some Black Templar. That is it, nice and simple. These are the 3D printed ones. Contrast works very well with them. Very happy with how they turned out. Wash over the top also helps get the detail lines, and they look like what they're supposed to look like. They look like an 80s cartoon. Here's either Moray or Stingray. I still keep forgetting which is which. I think Moray is wings down, Stingray is wings up, but no promises. If you didn't see the first Bot War battle report, go give it a go, see what you think of it. So this is a purchased separately Valiant. He is an old metal sculpt, so he's quite weighty. He's called Broadsword because he's using a broadsword. I opted to paint him like Blaster, the Autobot Ghetto Blaster from G1 or G2 I guess. Kind of the crossover point. Because he is a host, and that means he has some smaller robots inside him that can transform and come out of him. in battle he kind of carries them in, and the design reminded me of Blaster, so I thought, why not? It's a cool sword, that's why I got it. I like the miniature because it had a cool sword. And this, unfortunately I don't remember his name, but this is the dog robot that he keeps inside him. So he can walk up in battle, and then this guy can just transform, pop out of him and start shooting his lasers and firing missiles. If I'd painted him in red, it would have looked like Rush from Mega Man. But I think there's another cassette dog that looks like that, so I wanted to paint this one. This is the official colours as best as I could get into, unlike for him himself. But yeah, I tried to match the official colours for this. I think he's called Transistor, but I might be misremembering. So that takes us to the little test miniatures, or test mini rather, and 2 Blood Bowl balls, which there's not much to show off here, honestly. Those are just Blood Bowl balls that happen to be done because we do of course have the new season of Blood Bowl, and I have the old season that needs to get painted, so I decided to paint up a Recklin Reaver lineman. You get 6 linemen in the 2016 starter box I did an unboxing of. 3 poses done twice each, so there's another one of this, and then there's 2 and 2 for 6 linemen in total, then I think 2 throwers, 2 catchers, 2 blitzers. I think that's right, I think the humans have 12. So I used Talisar Blue for the majority of the armour, left some parts blank for the white, just with the grey sear base that I always use. We've got some Skeletal Horde for the bandages, and I left the only thing colouring the clothing underneath the armour is a wash of Aggressor shade on top of the grey sear. Then we have Blood Angels Red picking out the boots, the kneecaps, and the rope thing there. Did my best to stencil in a number, so he's number 7. I'm just copying the official numbers. I have no idea what the official naming conventions are for any other team. I'm just copying what was on the official paint job. And then I added a little bit of blood for the Blood God on his bracers because he's been punching people. Blood Bowl is a very violent sport. So you're not going to be seeing a finished game of Blood Bowl test-wise or otherwise rather soon, because there's 11 or 12 humans to paint, there's 11 or 12 orcs. Plus we've got the new season coming with the new teams, etc. But it is something to start working on now that the majority of Blackstone Fortress is finished. So I decided to at least get one painted up, give it a test job, and I think it turned out okay. I'm quite happy with how that turned out. It's an older sculpt, but I think it looks the part. I'm happy with it, and I think it would stand out on the field and is good to go for a game of punching people professionally. So that is all there is to it. Not a single Batman to be seen, or anything Marvel, but next time there will of course be the X-Men releases for Crisis Protocol. Gotta get those painted up. Looking forward to that greatly. I'm still painting up heroes from the core Blackstone Fortress box, but I'll be moving on to what these little guys are from, of course, because they'll be making an appearance. Got some more Bot War in process to get another team ready to do another test battle report, and hopefully doing more Blood Bowl. Other than that, I'm not sure. We'll keep everything else as a potential surprise. As always, feel free to show me the things you've been painting, even if it's a game I don't play. You can tag me on Twitter at GamerEND, and I will have a look. I like seeing other painted miniatures, and I hope this helps encourage you. Paint your unpainted miniatures. It's fun, it's relaxing. We could all use a little bit of peace and quiet and relaxing time right now, and painting miniatures is a really good way to just kind of go away from the internet for a little while. Time passes really quickly when you're painting, trust me. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you again in about a couple of weeks for another painting update. Until then, ta-ta for now.